the stuff that happens in California that we hear about that really doesn't touch home, but now we're touching home. So, and I'm really amazed at what we have as far as a turnout. It's very impressive. I think as a school board that you should be impressed that you have this kind of backing for the decision that you're about to make. What we do typically with this stuff in the industrial arena and even in the commercial arena is when we have issues like this, we do what and most of you are probably familiar with is a risk-based analysis. We'll look through every factor. We'll look through the probability. We'll look through every variable that there is. We'll plug all that into a matrix, and we'll all get together. It's usually a committee, and we'll stack hands, and we'll accept the responsibility and the liability that goes along with it. And we do that because we're paid to do that. And sometimes we do it well. Other times we just do it. But it's not without consequence because it's not our money, it's not our assets that we're playing with. It's we're making decisions on behalf of our shareholders who have way more money than I can fathom in their asset and their investment. And it's kind of the same thing here. Everybody in this room is faced with doing a risk analysis of what is the probability, what is the major risk, what are the minor risks, what are the short-term effects, and what are the long-term effects. And at the end of all this, you're going to have to stack hands. You're going to come up with an answer, and you're going to say, I accept responsibility and I accept the liabilities that go along with it. And the monetary value of the assets that you've been entrusted with are priceless. You're dealing with our children. You don't get to make a mistake. So it's a grave thing. And I also think, and I've heard several things kind of coming in, all the statistics, and I struggle with that because one statistic comes out and it debunks the next one and the next one, and where the facts are and where fiction is, I don't know where that line is. I'm not a doctor. I don't pretend to be. What I do know is what it's driven by and what it produces. It's driven by fear, and you can see it on everybody's face. Everybody's afraid of what if I do this and what if I don't do this? What's the ramification if I say no, that I'm not going any further? This is the line that I choose not to cross. Well, then do I have to take on the education of my children alone? Am I breaking a law? Will I be fined? Will I be visited by CPS? What's the consequence? The problem is fear begets fear, and this is compound. It happens over and over again. What you'll see though, and what I'm afraid of, and I'm not going to go into the medical bit of it, but I'm just going to go into the social bit of it, and then I'll let somebody else have some time. But you'll see a bit of a division. I had the opportunity the other day to hear my daughter say the Pledge of Allegiance for the first time. She made some sounds that sounded like the words, and they weren't quite the words. But I took the opportunity to explain what indivisible means. That took a minute. But what that meant to be undivided as a country, as a people group, as a hometown people, really. But what you'll see is people who will not stand for this, and they'll say, this is the line and I won't cross it, and my children won't cross it and I'll live with it. And they'll pull their kids out and they'll go to those that have means, will put them in a private school, and those who don't and have resources, they'll school them at home. Homeschool products now are just blow my mind in contrast to what they were when I was coming up. They were subpar would be a kind word to say. But what you'll see with this is as they pull them out, you'll see two classes form. And when that happens, when people are separated like that, they start to speak different languages. Not literally, but theoretically they start speaking different languages and they don't understand each other. History tells us that. And then you have internal wars, and then you have conflicts within people groups. Things like that is what sparks that. Now, it's a tough decision because you're faced with the liability yourself. Can I be fined? Can I be sued as a board, as an individual? The issue I have with it is, I heard the term that bothered me the most the other day was somebody said, just get in line and just do what you're told. That's easy. Just get in line and do what you're told. And that struck me to the level of thinking. I'm thinking back in history, and I'm thinking of every time that's happened. Get in line and do what you're told. Just get in line and do what you're told, and that won't and you'll be okay. We can't do that. America was not founded on get in line and do what you're told. In fact, it was founded on quite the opposite. So.